Friends, I'll never be tired of coming your way. As I talk to you, we have a clip of the president of China, Xi Jinping, visiting France and therefore the European Union in a big way. Some few weeks ago, the German president was in China. All of them negotiating, trying to talk to the Chinese how the trade relationship of almost 480 billion sold to EU, and EU is only selling 240 billion to Chinese. So the European economy is taking a shock. The French economy is taking a shock. All of them are in trouble. They are looking for solution. They are looking for way. In fact, the French president, Prime Minister Elizabeth Borne, was in China. They are begging the Chinese to have mercy on them, because the more the jobs the Chinese have, in other words, the more the product the Chinese are able to dump into the European market, the more the jobs they are able to create for the Chinese people. The Chinese are living like gods. One of the things they are begging the Chinese to also consider is Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, because the French are trying to tighten up sanctions on them. The Europeans, are trying to find a way to encourage the Chinese not to give too much goods, so that they'll cooperate, and the Sahel states of West Africa, there will be sanction on them and they'll be punished. So because if the Chinese are supplying and flooding the country with more goods, they will not even miss France or Europeans. And so the Europeans are begging the Chinese, and the Chinese are saying that, okay, if you want us to not to give too much, because most of what we buy from the Chinese, from wherever, we buy on credit. So the Chinese are telling the Europeans that if you want us to sell less to the so-called West Africans, the Sahel region, that you are working to put some sanction on them, or the European 27 countries, then why don't you work with us? So buy more from us. In other words, the Europeans will be buying more. The EU will even increase the quantity of the goods they buy from China, so that China will sell less to Europeans, pending to the so-called West Africans, those they are putting sanctions on, Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, so that things will go down. More importantly is Senegal. They are also looking at how to put pressure on Senegal. In fact, recently, the French invited Bassirou Diomaye Faye to France. There is some, and he and Sanko. These are two young people that Macron didn't even want to see. He doesn't even want to dream about. Now, they are in office and he's inviting them. We are hearing some kululu that there's issue of diplomatic passport, and they are not going to get some diplomat, and so on and so forth. All those things rubbish. What we know very well is that, see, if this, we are, as long as we are depending on external source of import, so that we keep our market going, the Chinese, is in their interest to work with the Europeans to punish the West African countries. And this is the reason why we formed the ECOWAS. It is time we encourage our people to understand that when we talk about production, when we talk about trade, when we talk about economy, we are also talking about the production of machines that we can use to produce our needs, especially consumer goods. We need to produce machine to produce our own consumer goods. We don't have problem with natural resources. That's the thing. And some of our people in our political parties, they don't care. They just don't care. All they want is for the president to go, as long as the loan is coming, and they are using their tribal rulers to put pressure on the president, and then they get it and share it for themselves. In some countries, they even have direct access to the resources, and they share it to their people. Some of our people are not realizing the damage we are doing to ourselves. It is in our interest. in our collective West African interest to make this ECOWAS work. You see, whatever we do, when we are able to create more job for our people, taking over the industries. As you hear, I have a friend, Mansa Musa. He's a member of NDC, National Democratic Comedians. And this guy is sharing his called Charles Ernest Boachi Dankwa. His name is Charles Ernest Boachi Dankwa. He called himself Mansa Musa because he's not proud of his name. And he sent me some information that multinational corporations, companies running in Ghana are leaving. Why? Because they are not getting their way. Boy, we should be dancing. It's like when in Mali or Burkina Faso, in fact, they told them to leave. It's the same thing. They told them to pack and leave. So in Ghana, we are not telling them to leave. But when they choose to leave, they should go. Why do you beg someone to come and trade on your land? The only reason why they will trade on your land is when they are walking over you. They do what they like. They don't pay tax. This administration that most of us are having problem with because of increase in cost of goods, those guys are determined. They are aware that at a point in time we must take over our own destiny. We must take over control of our life. Whatever they do, there must be change of government at any point in time. If not now, it will be somewhere in the future. This is why we want honest people, and this is the only problem I have with NDC, National Democratic Congress. This is not a joke. We know what the NPP did to wrestle the government from them. It was do or die. We know very well. But we can't continue along that line. We can't continue to, because what we are doing, we are all destroying the government of Ghana. And I believe at a point in time, we must find a way to be honest and genuine. We still can win election, so that when we get this power, we'll be able to look at the election they had in Britain. There's no kululu. Everything was straight. For almost 14 years, Conservative Party have been in government. Now Labour is coming. You can see something will happen that will remove people from government. But when you have political parties on both sides that are so radical and so unreasonable, and they are ready to tear each other apart, we have no future with this. In fact, drawing your mind back to Ghana, and I'm sure it's all over West Africa, the NDC now are conniving with some of the tribal rulers to do everything to show their disrespect for the head of state of Ghana, the president. That if judges, not ordinary tribal chiefs, we are talking about judges sitting down, when the president walk in, they all stand, all of them stand. Here we are. That is why the Constitution said you can't sue the president to court. It is the Attorney General that will come to court, whatever the president does. Because when it comes to the court, if the judge walk in, everybody stand. If the president come, including the judge, they will all stand. In Ghana, the president, who is a commander-in-chief, the last time they say he went to a Ghana event, the chief, the tribal leader of the people, refused to stand. Everyone must stand where the president go to. As soon as he arrives, all of you. And that's why at the Independence Square, everybody must stand. This is why the Ashanti chief doesn't go to the place. And then we have the Gans did it to the president. He raised concern. And it's a constitutional issue. Again, the Airway people, they also did it. And now we're here in Oti region. They are also doing it. Today, you do it to this one. The NDC are behind all these things. Tomorrow, the chiefs will go and stand behind MPP and they will do it to you too. So, you see, we are destroying our nation. There are more important things. These chiefs are only ceremonial. They don't have any power. Hooligans have gone to stand behind them and they are making them feel, when they take over the government of Ghana, when they make the president useless, the man that signed before anyone is killed lawfully in Ghana, the man that can deploy military to, if you make him useless, our president will start going out and nobody will respect them. Yes, even the Ashanti chief must stand up for the president of Ghana. Nobody. Everyone, if the president is a child, even if he's a baby, they must stand for him. We have to be careful.